Hello everyone. Today I want to take you on a journey into the microscopic world of life's fundamental unit, the cell. Think about this. Everything alive on earth, from the tiniest bacterium to the tallest tree, from a hummingbird to a human being, is made up of cells. Cells are so small that you can't see them with your naked eyes, yet they perform all the complex functions needed for survival. In fact, our body is made up of around 37 trillion cells, each working tirelessly day and night, communicating with each other, dividing, repairing, and keeping us alive. So, truly understand life, we must first understand the cell. Now, the study of cells begins in the 17th century. In 1665, Robert Hooke observed a thin slice of cork under a simple microscope. He noticed tiny compartments that reminded him of small rooms or cells, as he called them. Now, soon after, Anton von Leeuwenhoek, often called the father of microbiology, crafted more powerful lenses and observed living microorganisms for the first time. He saw bacteria, sperm cells, and red blood cells, things no one had ever seen before. Over the centuries, discoveries by scientists like Schleiden, Schaven, and Virchow laid the foundation for what we call the cell theory. Now, the cell theory is one of the cornerstones of biology. It has three key principles. Number one, all living microorganisms are made up of one or more cells. Second, the cell is the basic unit of structure and function in the living organisms. And third, all cells arise from pre-existing cells. This theory changed the way we look at life, no longer as a mysterious phenomenon but as something that can be explained scientifically at the cellular level. Now, not all cells are the same. Broadly, we classify them into prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells, like bacteria and archaea, are small and simple. They lack a true nucleus. Instead, their genetic material floats freely in the cytoplasm. They are they also lack membrane-bound organelles. Despite this simplicity, they are highly efficient, able to survive in extreme conditions from boiling hot springs to deep oceans. Now, eukaryotic cells, on the other hand, are larger and more complex. They have a defined nucleus and specialized compartments called organelles, each performing specific tasks. All plants, animals, fungi, and protists are made up of eukaryotic cells. Even within the eukaryotic cells, there are differences. Animal cells are flexible and lack a rigid cell wall, allowing a variety of shapes and functions. Plant cells have rigid cell wall, chloroplast for photosynthesis, and large vacuoles that store water and nutrients. Now, let's take a closer look inside a typical eukaryotic cell. Imagine it as a miniature city where every structure has a role. Number one, cell membrane. This is like the city's border security. It regulates what enters and leaves, maintaining balance inside the cell. Second is nucleus, often called the control center. It houses the genetic material DNA. The DNA carries instructions of everything the cell does. Surrounding the nucleus is the nuclear envelope, which protects it and controls access. Next is cytoplasm. This is the jelly-like fluid that fills the cell, holding organelles in place and allowing chemical reactions to occur. Next, mitochondria, known as the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria produce energy in the form of ATP. They are like the city's power plants. Interestingly, mitochondria have their own DNA, hinting at their evolutionary past as free living bacteria. Next comes endoplasmic reticulum. This is like a factory assembly line. The rough endoplasmic reticulum covered with ribosomes makes proteins, while the smooth endoplasmic reticulum produces lipids and detoxifies harmful substances. Next is ribosomes, tiny but essential. Ribosomes are the sites of protein synthesis, assembling amino acids into proteins. Next is Golgi apparatus. Think of it as a postal service. It modifies packages and distributes proteins and other molecules to where they are needed. Next comes the lysosomes. These are the recycling centers filled with enzymes that break down the waste and worn out organelles. Next comes vacuoles, which is the storage units. In plant cells, they are especially large, storing water and maintaining turgidity. Then comes the chloroplast, found only in plant cells. Chloroplast containing chlorophyll and captures sunlight, converting it into chemical energy through photosynthesis. Now, each organelle works like a specialized department and together they ensure the cell runs smoothly, just like a well organized city. Now, one of the most fascinating things about their cell is their specialization. In multicellular organisms like humans, not all cells are alike. Now, red blood cells carry oxygen throughout the body. Next, nerve cells transmit electrical signals, allowing us to think and react. Then, muscle cells contract to enable movement. Then, white blood cells act as a defenders, protecting us from infections. This specialization allows complex organisms to exist. Despite differences in shape and function, every cell follows the same fundamental principles of life. Now, why should we care about cells? Because almost every aspect of health and disease can be explained at the cellular level. For example, cancer is a disease where cells grow uncontrollably. Now, diabetes involves cells that fail to properly respond to insulin. Infections occur when harmful microorganisms invade our cells. By studying cells, scientists have developed vaccines, antibiotics, and modern therapies. Stem cell research even holds promise for regenerating damaged tissues and treating diseases once thought incurable. Now, to conclude, the cell is not just a microscopic blob, it's the very foundation of life. From Hooke's first observation to the powerful microscopes we use today, our understanding of the cell has grown tremendously. Cells are cities, factories, and powerhouses all rolled into one. They are diverse, specialized, and dynamic, yet unified in their basic structure. Every heartbeat, every breath, every thought we have happens because of the tireless work of cells. So, the next time you think about life, remember it all begins with a cell. Thank you for watching.